in order for you to be able to use ID 923 and to be able to get accurate numbers on your MIF report, you must update your model categories. So I'm not talking about your models, I'm just talking about the category itself in eAutomate. So the models won't be touched. We won't, nothing with the models has to be touched, only the model categories. And the categories don't affect any of your reporting that you currently have in eAutomate. In order for us to be able to properly report on all of the machines in field for all the different clients, you're required that you all report exactly the same. So we can't obviously tell you guys to all have the same models, so we chose to use the categories. So all of the categories they don't have to be exactly the same as what you see here, and we'll run through that, but they have to follow the same format. So in here, as you can see right now, underneath the CO juice category, this is a BEI category, and it runs through, this would be an analog machine, black and white machine, and then the speed segment. And then the description for that category is here, and it says again the analog, black and white, segment 1, and then this is the Pros Elite category in the brackets. So if you happen to be a Pros Elite member and you still need to have your Pros Elite numbers in there, that's fine. They're included in this description. If you are only a BEI member, you don't have to include those Pros Elite descriptions in the description at all. You don't need to include them. But when we worked this out, we worked it out to be both BEI and Pros Elite. Now in saying that, if you're neither BEI or Pros Elite, that is fine. You don't have to have this exact same number that BEI gives us, but you have to follow the exact format. On this other page here, so this spreadsheet, it is included in just on our forum post for ID 923. You can see this spreadsheet. It's included in the bottom, and you can bring this up yourself. So on this page, it gives you an idea of all of the models, as many of the models as we had at the time when the spreadsheet was created. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these you would find on your own. So it gives you all of the models, and it gives you the BEI segment, and it gives you let me scroll over, the manufacturer, and then further over it gives you what we would be calling the category. And then it also gives you what we would be calling, what the description would be. And included in the description is this Pros Elite category that I just talked about. So that gets included in the description when you update your categories. Again, that's up to you if you Pros Elite, if you want to add them in or not. So this sheet gives, a pretty good breakdown of all the models. You can pretty easily pick out your models from here and then update them to this or similar. Again, if you have a printer that we are calling in this spreadsheet a copier, but you don't agree and you want it to be a printer, then that's fine. You can still call it a printer. So you would give it the PRI category as long as you're following the same format. So that's up to you. If you want to call it a copier or you want to call it a printer, that's totally up to you. It's just that you have to follow the format of this format right here on the first page, the format of what kind of machine is it black and white, and what's the speed.
Okay.
Okay? Does that all make sense?
Yep.
Yep. So the easiest way to do this is to put in, have a look and see what, the majority of what you think your categories are. Go into eAutomate and bring them in, and let me bring up eAutomate here.
So
what did you ask, Deb?
The spreadsheet that you were showing us, are all of them going to be pushed in? Or do we just go through that list and see which ones we need?
Yes, you just go through this list and you only put in the ones that you need, or create the ones that you need. You don't need to create any more than you need.
Okay.
Okay, so here would be an example of your models, your model descriptions. Again, we don't touch the models, or you don't touch the models, no need to make any changes to the models. It's only to the category. So right now, a lot of you may just have it default like this, or you may have chosen, a category of printer and a category of copier and a category of fax machines. But again, in order for us all to be able to report on one report, the MIF report, we had to come up with a general consensus that everybody is the same. So in order for you to be able to read accurate results in ID 923, you have to set your categories up exactly the same. The easiest way for you to do that is after you've created your categories.
Could you just edit one of those models and just open it up?
Yep. So here's the category here.
And so that's the only place where it would change after the bulk update? Okay.
Yep, so you can say new or you can say edit, but if you're editing it, you're obviously editing that category that's there. So here's where you could create one here if you wanted.
Right, but we won't be doing that because it'll be done through the bulk updates.
It's easier to do it through bulk updates. You can do it any way you want, but I'm just going to show you in bulk updates because it's easiest to do it there.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with hundreds, possibly thousands.
So you just bring up your models here. And there's your category. Let's get rid of this. Sorry. So down here on the bottom it says update model category 2. So after you've created your categories, they're all going to show up in here. So it's easiest to see, and you can choose, okay, I know I have, this machine, this machine, this machine, this machine, that's all going to fall under the category of black and white, copier black and white, speed 5, So it's easier to pick them out from here. So you go through your list, and then you pick your category, and you update it from here. So that's the simplest, fastest way for you to do it. So go in and create your categories, or the categories that you think that you need based on this list. If they're not on this list, you use this tab to give you a general idea of the format that you need to follow to create the category. Any questions?
Okay. Nope, makes sense.
Okay. That's it then, Astrid.
And then we've just got to, as new models are created, moving forward, just make sure that a correct category is assigned to them.
Correct, or create a new one if you need to at the time.
Right.
So if you don't do this and you run 923, it's not going to be accurate. You can do that.
Yeah.
Your reporting won't come out accurate if you don't properly report your categories. Okay.
Yep, and it looks like, I was just having a look, it looks like ID 168 will provide an alert when a new model is created. So you can review and make sure, for example, that a category is assigned.
That is a good idea.
Yep, that's ID 168.
Okay.
Great, thank you.